Real. Hey, my name is Bill Cruz. I'm cruising the field. Special edition covering the mayor by-election of Mississauga 2024. And my second candidate today is Mr. Sinisa Mandrapa. And I said your name right, right, buddy?
Perfect. Right on.
I practiced before that way. So, Sinisa, introduce yourself and tell you what you're all about.
So my name is Sinisa Mandrapa. I'm an independent candidate for the city of Mississauga, a mayoral candidate, and I'm running on my principles, the right way forward. And I have a lot of points. A little background about me is I've lived in Mississauga since 1996, since grade one. I went to prep school in Eldon Academy in Michigan. I studied business in New York State. And here in Mississauga, I'm a real estate broker, a mortgage broker, and a regulated Canadian immigration consultant.
Wow.
And
No, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
no problem. So that's just a little bit about me. And I've watched politics since I was a kid, TV and local and international, and I love it. And not only politics, science, economics, all these things. And I've taken a lot into my mind, and I developed a plan that I think would be best suited for our city at this current time. And a lot of people in our city, not just the young, have a housing problem. So
Oh, yeah.
I would like to address this by increasing the Mississauga average wage is $24, the federal
Okay.
assistance. So I think that if we bring in higher quality companies, higher technologically innovative companies, more Fortune 500 and more Fortune Global 500, I think that we could actually get to that point where maybe we could increase the minimum wage to like 30 or so, so it's more affordable to buy even like a condo or a townhouse, because a single detached right now is 1.3 million. It's a lot of
Yeah.
money. So this is one of my main priorities. I also want to address the low income families. I want for low income families, I want to build housing, so public government housing, and it might not be a big townhouse because we don't have that much space in Mississauga anymore. So maybe like rezone some areas, or either Cooksville or down by Lakeshore or Malton or Meadowville, and make something affordable so families could stay in the city and we could all enjoy it. The more the merrier. So that's some of my points. One of my main priorities is reducing property taxes. So property taxes I want reduced instantly. I want 5% property taxes down on residential and on commercial, depending on how much they make, what they make, and what the wages are, and what revenue they bring. So taxes, depending on those factors, that's how I would address the other question. Then for city security, our city security is right now is pretty disastrous. Our policing the situation. I think that we need not only more police or more police stations. I think that I was planning a security city force. So basically, in each ward, we would have a security force, and they would be on the streets, going on the main streets every 3 to 4 minutes, and then they would drive by, and you would have a visible presence. And in the meantime, they would also be deterring crime, because I think fighting crime is a good thing, amazing thing. But I then that includes punishments and all this. But if we deter crime, this is one of the ways. The other ways that I would do is more programs. So we need more sports. We need more educational programs. We need the youth, and even a little bit people that are a little bit older, so like 30-year-olds, and so to join in. It's different sorts of programs where we could get engaged. Maybe we could have more festivals like Celebration Square, because we do have some. I go to them all the time during the summer, spring, fall. But I think we need something for indoor too. So my plan was a stadium, and to then have major league sports, concerts, basically, and festivals during the winter time. So this was one of one of my main things for the transportation. I think that we need more transportation and higher quality, because our city is 802,000. And the only thing new that we've gotten is we built the garages for the Go trains and Go buses. The LRT streetcar is going down, but even though 3 stations over there's problems, and now people are talking, are we going to cancel it? So I think that this we need to finish the Huron Ontario line, like a lakeshore line, going down Burnhamthorpe and connecting Malton and Meadowville. I think this would be the ideal situation because we would be a real city. I think we would be the definition of a city, and I think that this could rise us up. In regards to a subway, we're one of the going to Vaughan. Vaughan has a subway, and Vaughan has a lower economic situation. Us, we're ranked second in the province, and Vaughan has one. And there's subways going up north, subways going east, and we don't have a subway. So I think we need a subway from Kipling Station all the way to Winston and Eglinton. We need a subway going there to that plaza, and basically we would have most of Mississauga connected through a line. And this would be a good start. Afterwards, other plans, but this would be an amazing start. So with this, we would be lowering pollution, lowering congestion. We have lower, cheaper fares, so people, it's more affordable. We would be on point to actually accomplish things. You know, like people could be going downtown. I speak to people, and some people tell me for the go bus, and go train to go more often. For the go train to go like every hour or 2 hours, because people have to wait almost a half a day or a full day to go. That could also be accompanied in between till we get to the subway. That's what my plan would be, because every constituent I've been talking to, everybody wants go trains going more often so that we could have, everybody wants to take buses or trains, or because cars are just, the traffic is overboard. And that also includes a green agenda. We'd have a lot less carbon monoxide and all these factors, and we could plant some trees to get rid of that. Now, I also have some other things. For example, the smart city. I'm very into technologies, and I think that, for example, some places already have places where buildings are getting made by robots. So flying cars are starting in Paris, and all these things are happening, and we're kind of out of the loop. I think that Mississauga is out of the loop, and people have robots. There's incentives, businesses, and all sorts of government institutions from the top, from the federal down to the municipal, have initiatives for technological advance. We don't have that. I think if we have that, then we could have it tested here. And if we could have it tested here, we could include incentives for them to manufacture here. If they manufacture here, we would be getting a lot more revenue. So I think that we need to be smart in the way we do things. And I think that we need to look at some people that need a little bit more help, because we can't just have, a class, the class that's is already getting a reduced taxes, but there's people that are renting, right? There's a lot of renters around the city, and I think that they need jobs, because in order to even cut down the crime and keep everyone happy, we need jobs. But we need good paying jobs, something that's going to fulfill the family, so you could have a family, and so you can move up. And these are some of the things. You also mentioned in email healthcare. Healthcare, I'm very big into healthcare. I think it's the main priority in life, because a healthy life is a good life. And some people are waiting extremely long times, 6 months, 5 months for like operations or specialist visits. I think this needs to be cut down dramatically, and I think that this needs to be taken care of in many different ways, because we could hire more doctors, but we could also open more clinics or a hospital, because Peter Trillium is getting changed to Peter Gilligan, which is amazing. But over on the East Coast, from Malton to down the East Coast, we don't really have a hospital. So I think that we need a hospital on this side too, in order for our system to be more advanced and take care of the seniors. For the seniors, there's such a big demographic. I think they need a lot of help. And I think that people that aren't able to, for example, I'm not saying all seniors, but all seniors would get a transportation, all seniors would get a line bypass, all seniors would get a dental care. But some people even need a little bit more extra help. They're not capable of moving, or they're not capable of doing things. So I think that we could help them out by creating even like a line, so they can call in for help if they need to do something. And I think that there needs to be a senior advisory board to take care of. Because if we look at the 65 and over, it's about 13% of Mississauga. But if we look at 55 and over, there's a lot of 55 and overs that are in this category too. So these are some of my things. With smart cities, I think we can make it a lot more transparent. We could have surveys online right away. I think we could have everything direct. We don't have to have anything hiding, everything in the open. And I would like a transparent government. I would like a government where anybody could come over and we could talk, we could discuss problems, we could solve things. And I believe that this is a possibility. I think that us as community, I think that we could really thrive together.
Cool. Well, quite the mouthful, eh? Actually, I read your been reading your stuff. There's a few things you didn't talk about. There's only so much you can talk about in half an hour, but just want to before I start talking about this, I want to ask you the first question is what got you motivated to put your name in for the mayor in the first place? I know you're interested in politics.
So I wanted to get into politics since I was a kid, and so I wanted to get into politics to change things to for the betterment of everyone. And I think that right now our city has gotten to a point where it's a little fragmented. Our city, the Peel region is breaking up, and there's a lot of different problems. When you read the news, there's even like the bike lanes, people are getting run over. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. But why are people getting run over? Why don't we make a bike lane extended? So like not cutting off the street, extended. There's shootings, there's robberies, there's car thefts. Like it's pretty chaotic. And I think that we need to get things sorted out. I think that we need a diplomat, somebody is going to put us together. I think that we could do a lot of good things because we do have huge potential. Our city, I think, is very potentialist, and I think that it's a time of change. And I've been reading a lot. I've been reading about a lot of things and staying in touch. And I really want to be the one that helps push our agenda forward. That we become like a world class city. I want us to be on top, hopefully. Like one of the cities where we could host events, where we have our own TV station. We do have our own TV station, Rogers 10, but for more people to watch and to be
Yeah.
more.
That's interesting you said about transparency because I like in Toronto, that just like over here, there's a lack of voice transparency. Like I said, people come to the city, come to your office, if you get elected, give an idea, talk and express. You make a mistake, you learn from your mistake, you try something new, right? I think there's that we don't have that over here. Even like in the election I was in, like talk what you said. There's not that transparent, there's not that voice of the people. Like I watched some of your coverage in your election, just like Toronto, there's no coverage of people on the streets.
Yeah.
Getting a frustration, like you said, 50% of Toronto, they just said is can't afford a house. It could be rentals all their life. But there's no conversation about that. There's just news and that's it. So like if you go to Mississauga, I want to talk to people like you that have frustration and you're sitting in a town hall. People want to see they don't want to see perfection, I find. Like you're talking about yourself about like transparency. You actually humble to say that I want ideas. You're not coming across as being arrogant. So I'm Mr. Stanisha. I'm the man for the job. But you're saying, no, I want ideas. I want fresh ideas. That's what I like. That's what I like about all these like even Toronto the grassroots candidates. We all had that common. That's what I got. It's funny you said about Mississauga being a city. It's funny because I remember growing up, I always thought Mississauga was getting bigger than Toronto at one point, like later back. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, does Mississauga have wheelchairs like Toronto? Do they have a accessible transportation for seniors or people with disabilities?
It got lowered to $1. So senior transportation right now is at $1, but I want to make senior transportation zero because there's not
Okay.
even too many seniors taking transportation. And
Yeah.
I know the ones that are taking transportation most of the times are not well off. So I think that we need to help them out.
Do they have a? Is there a separate system for the seniors? Like we have wheelchairs for seniors and disability people with disabilities. They can take it's a separate bus they can take. Do they have that in Mississauga?
In Mississauga, I know they have the chair arm that goes out, but
Yeah.
there is private. Yeah, I see the private ones, but are we talking about public or private?
Public, yeah, because TTDs bought out Wheel-Trans. I know the guy actually used to own Wheel-Trans years ago. He's a friend of my stepfather's, and he bought them out years ago. This guy started way back, starting what do you call Wheel-Trans? It was for it was private for people with disabilities and seniors, and then TTC bought them out. So I thought maybe Mississauga might do the same one day in the future, especially for Wheel-Trans, especially for seniors as well. It's a
Yeah,
system that's in the
definitely.
it's still system's still in the process. I like what you said about the transfer for seniors. Free public ride. I like that. I like that a lot. And also, I like some of your pictures you have in your model city, the little bubbles there and all that. That's kind of cool.
Thank you.
It's funny you said about AI. I was watching this documentary the other day in I think it was Japan. I might be wrong, but they have robots that are when you go to a hotel, they actually are robots now, and they check you in. I don't know if you saw that. It was so cool. They look
Yeah,
so real. They look so real, right?
I saw it. I watched the shows. I saw it in Philippines, in China, in Dubai,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Japan, and Saudi Arabia. I saw. Yeah, they have the checkout robots, and they have the cleaning robots, and they have the robots that make the construction.
Yeah.
And they have
Yeah. Yeah.
robots for
Somebody,
everything.
a buddy of mine says, "What's the difference between that?" Well, you don't have to tip them. Sorry. That's so funny. I was gonna ask you, how's the campaign going, by the way?
So it's going good. I'm campaigning pretty much the whole day, every day. And nighttime, I open my emails, check my emails early morning, late night, and during the day, I'm campaigning, going around and visiting places. I'm connecting with people, and I'm getting a lot of good outputs. I think that it's going to be good.
So if somebody came up to you, say you got elected as mayor, somebody says, a lady came up to you, said, give you a phone call or wants to make an appointment, says, I have a need for senior, have a senior help garden or a association to help other seniors out. Would you, how do you respond to that? Like somebody came up to you and asked that.
I would definitely help out, and I would definitely be a part of that to help seniors out. That's why one of my main plans for senior incentives is to have an advisory board for seniors, so we could help seniors actually with the ones that can't help. So an overlook observatory board that can look over and see exactly the missing parts and the missing components of the system of seniors, and then we could incorporate this, and we could actually smoothly push it forward.
So you have like an advisory board in City Hall itself as part of that part of the team.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's amazing. I think that's a great idea. I didn't thought about that. We have committees over here, but like nothing like official in City Hall. What I find like lacking in our City Hall is certain committees like for disabilities, ODSP. These are the things that our groups are gathering in different parts of the wards, like over in Mississauga. But then we talk to people in Mississauga as well, but they don't have actually official like me like City Hall. Like your City Hall has today we're having a committee meeting of disabilities or people with special needs. An official committee, like you said, the senior advisory. That'd be something amazing to have. Like the best way to help seniors is from the senior itself, word of mouth, right? Like they see what's happening. So, and I like you to have a nice advantage. You're a real estate broker. You know about the whole market. About the. I was gonna ask you, do you want to lower taxes on the property, like business owners, or what?
So I want to lower taxes on residential and business. So for
Okay.
residential, 5%, which would equal on average about $500 less a year. And for businesses, for small businesses, definitely, I've been going around. I've been speaking to tons of small businesses everywhere. So this is a very important factor to address, but also even bigger businesses. So like if we're gonna I want to attract more businesses. So attracting more businesses, I want to lower the taxes. So we get more businesses, we get more jobs, and we get higher paying jobs. So yeah, this is my platform that I want to do, and I would like to be the one
That's
that
nice.
does.
I like also how you like to bring more festivals into the city, like Mississauga, like more events and all. It's nice. I don't get too much about like events going on, so look for it in Mississauga, but like something Mississauga could stand up being is international. Like every city has something that's more known for their like Spain is known for their bullfighting and all. Kind of crude example, but like Mississauga's so wide out. I was gonna ask you, you talked about the transit system. I know you a while back they had planned to build this transit system. What happened? It just got stalled, or what happened? They didn't want to implement it, or what?
So it's getting built still from Brampton Shoppers World until Lakeshore, but it's a little bit behind. And
Yeah,
like I was going there on weekdays this weekend, I didn't even see people where so it's a little behind, and people are questioning whether it's even going to get built, whether it's not going to get built, and it should go from Shoppers World in Brampton all the way down to Lakeshore, which is a pretty good route. I mean, you could go all the way from a good shopping mall all the way to a good beach. And
that's from Brampton, right?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, just because I saw some maps a couple years ago, what the plan was to make Mississauga more versatile with transportation. And I thought it was a great idea. I loved it. And then it's something got the government, politics and all, it got stalled and delayed. And like over in Toronto, we got our LRT that's been sitting there for about 11 years, still in the process of being developed and finished. I don't know why they have these. I don't know why we have all these delays. It shouldn't be like we're behind. Like honestly, we're like Mississauga, Toronto, compared to the rest of the world when it comes to transportation and just you know getting people around. We're behind. Like we're way behind. There shouldn't be a reason. We're supposed to be, you say Mississauga is. I say Mississauga is a top class city, just like Toronto. We're top class cities. Mississauga is known for their, like you said, you want to have more colleges, more education, more accessibility. That's what I want to touch on. Is the landlords. That's another big thing. I just saw in Brampton not too long ago, a couple months ago, they passed the law that all landlords, or I think all landlords or people renting out have to be licensed now.
yeah. So in Brampton, they passed a few laws, and I know that now because most houses are single family houses. So if you have more people living now they give you they charge you and stuff like that. But I think that, well, for my plan, what I want to do is, because I know that rents are going up crazy, and some people I've been speaking with on different areas, and from Bloor to Dundas and Cooksville to Meadowvale, and some people can't really hold on, and they're on the verge of moving out of the city, and even West Lakeshore, East Lakeshore. And I think that we need a plan with the federal and the provincial government to actually have some incentives to help these people.
I think
So
so, yeah. Yeah.
if they would help us out, then we could help each other out, and then we could, make it a little bit more affordable and have people not so worried about
Well, they've
not.
opened the. I mean, I'm all for immigration. I'm an immigrant myself, like yourself. But I don't know. They've opened the doors for immigration. There's no barriers like before, back in the '60s, '70s. But the thing is, like you said, the government needs to get their asses in gear. You're opening the doors for immigration. People are moving to Mississauga, Toronto. You see it in the streets, or they come from different countries, living on the streets. I mean, come on, government. You want people to come to our country, but you don't start supporting the cities, like the city within, like with infrastructure, like Mississauga, Toronto. Not a case of building more housing. That takes time, but like there's a lot of empty spots, like probably you've seen in Mississauga. There's a lot of empty buildings, there's empty housing, there's apartments that can be done for government. There's a lot of potential there. But the thing is just getting it done. I mean, it's cheap, it's cheaper and quicker to get people put in places that already exist rather than waiting for housing. Like that's the thing. And that's the problem. That's what I feel. you know.
You're definitely right on, and I'm all about immigration. I'm all in, but I think that what you're exactly right. We need more housing, and the speed of the speed of how housing can get built could be much faster, right? The way things are get built now, 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
buildings in China get built for 14, 15 days, right? So housing could get built built much faster than it's getting built here. We have to be honest about this.
I know some guys in China. They're in construction, so I call them through the months and says, "How's the building come? Oh, we're done. You're done. You're done. I just called you last week.
Yeah.
That's how fast they're. But you know what? People ask why are they so fast at building? Because they're efficient. They have a system. There's no quicks. Like there's no questions about materials and they know what has to be done. There's no politics of coming in between or accessibilities and all. They just they've done it for so long. It's like a practice. You practice like baseball. You practice so many times, you're getting good at it. Just like housing. Or even like right now, like Toronto, they're just saying that in the next 20 years, we're gonna have to fill mandates or fill up positions that people are retiring. And these guys women that are retiring, they're all like hands-on jobs. But now the new trades are coming in, but they need to train people for the new trades. It comes to like a green economy, building affordable housing that's economy efficient. A lot of them are not educated. They're saying they are being educated, but it's not enough. I'll talk to construction guys. One guy said him and his son been takes 5 years to build a condo, but he says we're not. So I asked him. I said, Is the building energy efficient?" He said, "Yeah, it is, but it's right on the table. It's like it's right on the line, borderline, meaning it's not as it should have been." He said, "If they want to promote these buildings to be efficient, they need to go all the way, and that's what the government needs to kick in. Government needs to kick in for housing. But you want immigration, you want people to live in our countries, our city. You can't keep blaming the city. That's the thing. The government keeps putting the blame back on the city of Mississauga and Toronto, saying, "You've got the budget, get some cuts, handle it." Well, excuse me, you've just given me over 250,000 people 1 year. I'd expect to handle that. Give me a break. Sorry.
Yeah, those points I agree with everything. And I think that, yeah, we could also make our housing more affordable and cheaper. Yeah, if we build faster, right? And if we did have like the machines like in China, yeah, that's all a possibility. But there is politics, right? Yeah, who's gonna get paid and all these transparency things. So I think that transparency needs to be a number one factor. I think that we need signs everywhere. What is going to get built? How is going to get built? What days is going to should be finished? When it shouldn't be finished? And if it's going behind, there's different ways to solve this. Workers could get hired, right, to work at different intersections. When something gets built, and if it's in a line, you could work on different places at the same time, for example. So you don't have to work at one place, and then there's no signs. I don't know what happened. We need to put up signs when something's going to get built, how much it costs,
Yeah.
who's building it, so we could open up online, right? Like I think that we need a system that that's transparent. Like, we should know what's going on because we all work and we work together and like we're a community. If we're a community, we need to participate together. So I think
Yeah.
that, and like you were saying, some people, there's a lot of those people, but people don't talk about it or are
No,
scared to talk about it. And I think that people need maybe even more. We need more news stations, and we need more.
I like you say, yeah, news more local news stations that are maybe privately owned because right now, like as you know, the media coverage is on the incumbents. I've just talk about this now. I've talked to people in Mississauga. I'm not putting any incumbents down, but like the top candidates in Toronto is Mississauga. They're like celebrity categorized, like in Hollywood. Like but the thing is, these are like status quo people that've been in the system for a while. That have been in council or running for mayor. Like he's like, I'm not going to mention names. You know who I'm talking about. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, if you're a young guy, say you're a young guy, a voice.
I'm not too young. No, I'm 35. I'm not young.
Okay, you're younger than me, so I'll call you young guy. I'm
Definitely
six.
not.
I'm 60, so I'll say yeah.
60.
It's so funny.
You're
But I'm
not
saying
that
like
old, but I'm not a young guy.
that's just funny. So I'm just saying you're fresh face like in the last election, the our election we had fresh faces. You're a grassroots candidate with background. This is what's lacking, and this is where the media does not kick in. And they there's an article in the Toronto Star on Saturday, just yesterday. I was reading it, and there's an article about the media needs to step up, stop promoting this old status quo, candidacy of the same politics, the same like right now the same thing's going on. People are frustrated. They don't want to vote. That's why we need the media is not covering. That's why I'm doing this, like get a more social exposure. Like
Yeah.
people can hear,
Yeah.
hey, Shanisha's got he's a new guy. Why do we get him in? Like he wants to talk to us. Why can't we talk to him? You know? They don't see that right now. This and people are getting frustrated. Like right now in Toronto, there's community groups forming. There's one called Sun, Scarborough United Neighbors. I just part of that. I'm doing videotaping from the community groups. They're actually asking council to come down. These community groups are gathering for the first time from different parts of the ward. They've never met and they come together as groups and they come out at the front to say this is what's going on in our ward or our city or whatever. This has to be. They need voices in the like. I was watching the Mississauga news there. All you see is the few articles and the few media coverage and few, but there's no opinions. Like people saying like, oh, I'm gonna well, even an opinion like saying, who'd you vote for? Ask this opinion like, I would vote for Sinisha because he's got a transparent. He likes talking to people. You don't see that. Why not? That's
Mm.
regular people. We're all regular people. We want
Right.
to talk about. We want to talk to people. You talk to like I said when you've been canvassing. What do you say was the biggest fear when you've been canvassing about the politics about running or for the election? What do you say people's biggest frustration would be?
Well, I would like to figure out why we only have 21. I know Mississauga is 21% that came out, or a little bit over
Yeah,
21
yeah.
came out last time is ridiculous. I mean, been for a long time that Mississauga had very low numbers, and Mississauga had very little signs during election campaigns. But now I've never seen more signs anywhere, and uh, and I ask people. Some people say they're not going to vote. I'm a little skeptical as why not to vote. I think people need to incentivize each other that you would live better if you voted for somebody that's going to help us out. I think that's the way it should work because some places, like I don't know, if a lot of people maybe don't follow U.S. politics, but that's how people get ahead, and that's how communities, work together and sustain, and that's how things that could actually work out because some people, I guess, they think nothing's going to change. Well, if you don't vote, right, and if nothing's going to change, probably something bad is going to happen.
Yeah,
You're left behind even more, right? So
funny
it's
you mentioned about the U.S. politics. I've been watching the CNN or the Donald Trump comes with fake news. What I watch on CNN, even the other American stations, which is that what we don't do, they do it. They actually consult community groups. They're actually out there talking to people. And you see that. You see the American face on the screen. And I'm watching this intent. I go like, we should be doing that over here. I'm not saying we're a bad city. We're just saying if the media's gonna copy and be like Hollywood and copy and like you saw our last 102 election, 102 candidates, top six, the celebrities. These people have been around a long time. They've been in politics. But
yeah.
what difference are they going to make? I'm saying, like the Americans, they promote, they talk about other candidates. They do that. They want people to see their opinions. And we need that over here,
There's more local channels, right? There's
oh
more.
yeah, yeah. That's what's going to ask you. You said Mississauga needs more hospitals. How many hospitals do you have in Mississauga right now?
There's Credit Valley and there's Trillium. But Trillium is getting changed to Peter Gilligan. Is going to be the biggest hospital in all of
I
Canada.
saw it. It looks beautiful. Yeah, yeah. When's
Yeah.
that supposed to be done?
That's supposed to be, it's not even started. Now the money's getting collected. They're doing walks for Hazel McCallion walks and donations, and they're doing this. And so I think the start date is supposed to be next year, but you never know. Like right now, start dates, end dates are changing
Yeah,
for.
yeah. You gotta be. You think you should keep like maybe one or two more hospitals, maybe down south or whatever, on the other side? Because if you have
Well,
one area, like one area covering one massive area, like it's kind of
I,
ridiculous.
I think if we're looking at Mississauga like this, and Credit Valley is over here on the west, and on the south, south is gonna be the former Trillium, St. Peter Gilligan. So I think we need something here, Malton, and like the wards on the right hand side, something toward Toronto. So we
Yeah.
connect this part and down Lakeshore up to Lakeview. So from like Lakeview up to Malton, the upper part, I think we need a hospital in the middle there, and then we could have a full coverage of Mississauga.
Oh, nice. And also, you mentioned about more entertainment centers in your campaign. I like that. Like more facilities built. And it
Yeah.
did. It gets people off the streets. Gets some more. I think we need more. What do you say? More competition between in the city of people. Somebody had an idea about air. What do they call things in the air? I can't think of the things in the
Drones?
air. Drones.
Drones,
Drone.
yeah.
Drone wars, like drone competitions. They have like robot competitions, robot wars, like they have. I watched on WTV, whatever. Something like that. It gets people, like teenagers, young people, getting more enthused about competing. I think we lack that. We see it in sports, we see it in our local stuff, but we know what we don't promote our local sports enough, like our local venues and all. We see it in funny news articles on some of the channels, like kids doing baseball and stuff. But we see the college level, like in the States, college level is so big for football, like it's humongous. you know, Trying to even follow it. But like we need that over here. I think more recognition of young people being in sports and being recognized and not being put down, but just being, accentuated that they're doing a good job and they're just being recognized for their astounding, even like awards for volunteers for young people. We don't have that. Like so and so from high school did this, and you see it on the news, like people started lemonade stands, raising funds and money for hospitals or even for like groups and all that. So, anyways, it's just on ideas and all. So,
Yeah, I definitely think because for all the major league sports in Toronto, they made from 312, 350, 63 million. The MLS makes 62 million, and Argonauts make 6.2 million. And I think that Mississauga, we don't even have a CFL team. Hamilton has a CFL team, and MLB's having a draft. And Markin was talking that they're going to get an NHL or an NBA team. I think Mississauga needs one.
I
Mississauga is
thought,
getting into 2000.
I was just thinking of it. I said, why don't Mississauga have any teams? They're a big city,
Yeah.
not like they're just like a new city. We have Toronto team, we have like even like Mississauga, but they have their own baseball team, hockey team, they can have that. I don't know why they don't start that up. It's not like Mississauga is a very wide city. Also, like about it's very expanded and it's still growing, you know.
Well, we would need a stadium first, and I
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. Yeah,
So we get
I
the
like how you
stadium.
said in your you think do not just a stadium for sports, but also for like a recreation center for people to use it
Yeah.
24 hours, and all that. I think that. So I got about 5 minutes left. So just wrap it up there for yourself. So why should people vote for you, Sanisha? Why should you be the next mayor?
So people voting for me are gonna live a better life. People voting for me, there's gonna be more inclusivity. People voting for me, there's gonna be changes that are gonna be positive for everybody. It's not just gonna be this class, this type, that type, this community, that community. It's gonna be everybody. We need to get everybody inclusive because when people break up is one thing. Who knows what could break up next? We're in a state where we need to get together and we need to put everybody together in order for our community to thrive and to survive. I believe that Mississauga, I've lived in Mississauga since it had 250,000 people. Now it has 200, 800, 2,000. It has more. These are just documented. So without documented, like 800,
Mhm.
30,000 or so. So this is an amazing accomplishment. We're looking at a city that is going to be a million city soon. And with Peel region, it's 1.5. But maybe I don't know. Maybe we could even overturn the Peel thing. Maybe we could become a city. Our region is, I think, prosperous. We do have the most loan to GDP in Canada in the developed world, and this is a problem. But I think
Mhm.
that we could work on this, and I think that we could make this work for everybody because now is a time where, yeah, some people don't want to work together anymore. Before we were thinking about talking, oh, we're going to help the young, we're going to help the poor, and now a lot of people they've changed sides. People are not even doing that anymore, and I think that people need to get back to the basics.
We're
And
talking about, yeah, it's great.
we're,
So
we're
yeah, off topic here. I know you're a family man. You're a family oriented man. And you're deep in your religion, I believe.
yeah,
I saw some of your pictures there, and your
yeah,
yeah. So gonna pick your brain before I go. I know you've done quite a bit of volunteer work through the years. I've looked at your itinerary. My question is, I've asked some people is, remember the first time you volunteered, and you came back to you as a volunteer. We did some really good work, and somebody came back to in Sinisha. I just want to thank you for your help. I really appreciate it. Do you remember that?
yeah. I volunteered in high school, and it was a really good time, and it was an amazing time. And I like to help people out. I like to help people out, and yeah, at different times I did help people, and
And they came back to you and told you that?
yeah, people.
Yeah,
I
that's good. That's nice.
mean,
It's nice.
sometimes
Yeah, just
it wasn't under category of volunteering where it's
yeah,
signed, but I did. Yeah, help
yeah. It's
people.
nice. Yeah, I saw some of the feedback about you, and I like some of the comments you made about your. They say you're. I heard that you're refreshing. You're down to earth, and also you're a smart dresser. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah. I like your video. I like your videos. Keep up the videos and all. You know.
Okay, yeah, I
So
appreciate it.
yes, I got 2 minutes left. Just want to say thank you so much, Anisha, for coming on the show. And I'll make a copy, and I'll send you your own copy. You can use it for your campaign. And I'll put this on Facebook. It'll be on. I'll put it on Anchor. It'll go on some of the other like YouTube. iHeartRadio, Amazon, Apple will be all there because it's all connected with the website and all. So yeah, like I said, so good luck. I wish you the best success there, and I think you're refreshing. I think all you grassroots candidates, I've seen the pictures of you, and I think we need that. We need that freshness. If you get elected, that'd be great. You get the new fresh face. And every day's a learning experience. People have to realize you got to take a chance on somebody new. You need somebody new to take a chance on, like yourself and others, right? If you don't take a chance, you're just gonna be stuck in the same situation, right? So got moving to left. So do you want to end it off? Just want to do got 50 seconds left. Yeah.
I just want to say I wish people the best, and I really want this to work out for us. And my email is info@mandrapaformayor.com, and my website is www.mandrapaformayor.com. And anybody could call me at any time at 647-207-7474. And Philip, I had an amazing time with you. Thank you for inviting me, and I really appreciate it.
That's
And
great.
I would like to stay in touch with you. And
Yeah, let's keep in touch. Yeah, yeah. Let's see the results and keep in touch. Also, you can make an enemy in 1 hour, but you can make a friend in 1 minute. So I think I just made a friend. So anyways, thanks, Anish, for coming to the show.
Look,
Best
I had a great
success.
time with you.
I'll be
Yeah,
watching the election, see what the results, and I hope you the best, man. Okay? Thanks a
thank you.
lot.
Appreciate it.
I'll
Please
just
spread
send it
the
out
message.
there.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Have a good weekend.